Welcome back. Where did we leave off? Oh, right. Albert had just crafted the Snapthorn and was ready to take on his next challenge. There were rumors of a creature that lay dormant in the jungle. The story goes that somewhere deep underneath the jungle lies massive beehives. And inside these hives there's a creature waiting to be awoken. Albert was not afraid of these stories because he knew exactly what they were talking about. He knew all about the queen bee. Specifically, he knew she was the key to unlocking some powerful summoner gear. So he headed for the jungle to take on the massive bee. He built a little arena for the fight, but didn't prepare much more. So with very little preparation, Albert summoned Queen Bee. Albert quickly realized he needed a little more help for this fight. He had underestimated his foe. He moved the nurse nearby for some quick battle healing. He also spent a hefty chunk of change reforging his flink staff and snapthorn. And finally, he added a heart lantern and campfire to the arena. He was ready to try again. Sadly, Albert had fallen in battle yet again, but this time he had nearly defeated the queen. He knew that if he focused, he could take out the giant bee, so without hesitation, he summoned her again. After a tense and arduous battle, Albert had slain Queen Bee, adding another relic to his collection. Queen Bee's loot bag offered many goodies, but Albert only cared about the bee wax and high pack. You see, bee wax was a very versatile summoner material because, if used correctly, it could be fashioned into bee armor, which provided major boosts to summoners. In total, he would need 30 bee wax for the full set. Albert was also an expert craftsman, and with his skills he could also enchant the bee wax into a hornet staff. He would need 14 bee wax to craft it. After receiving 20 bee wax from Queen Bee, Albert faced a difficult decision. On one hand, he could craft 2 pieces of bee armor, which would increase his summoning damage and his maximum minions he could utilize. Or he could craft the hornet staff, which would be his most powerful weapon yet. Albert decided the armor was the right choice. He He headed back with his new armor to slay the bees some more. After 2 more loot bags, Albert had received enough bee wax to craft the last piece of armor, completing the set. With the full set equipped, Albert got a bonus 10% summon damage. He also crafted the Hornet Staff, which allowed Albert to summon little hornets to fight for him. Albert had gotten his 6th item off his list. He was progressing very quickly, but he wanted to slow down for a second. He turned his attention to his NPCs. More specifically, he wanted to improve their housing and create a pylon system. He started with the jungle biome, creating a wonderful underground oasis for the jungle-dwelling NPCs. Albert was able to purchase his first pylon, the jungle pylon. Now that Albert had the jungle pylon, he set his focus on the desert. He quickly found a cave underground that would be the perfect place for the home of his NPCs. Albert purchased his second pylon, the desert pylon. Finally, Albert wanted to teleport deep under his home base, so he went underground for his next set of houses. He found a perfect little cubby to begin, and with the help of some explosives, he began crafting a cozy underground base. Albert purchased the underground pylon and quickly set it up. He also created a small body of water to fish out of because, in his downtime, Albert had recently taken up fishing. With this new pylon system, Albert would be able to quickly travel across the world. While he was rehoming the NPCs, he had heard them tell stories of a terrifying creature. The story goes that deep in the snow hills, a grotesque monster can be summoned. This monster was the guardian of a summoner weapon Albert had only heard about in rumors. It was not a typical summoner weapon. It summoned a sentry. Albert had followed the directions in the story, making the summoning object, and upon using it, he was greeted by the large beast known as Deerclops. Now, Deerclops was very powerful and made quick work of Albert. But upon reawakening, Albert noticed that Deerclops didn't flee. In fact, he was waiting for Albert. Finally, Albert was able to best Deerclops and claim his next relic. More importantly, he opened the loot bag, but did not receive the weapon he was after. He did, however, get the eye bone, which functioned like a portable piggy bank. Albert summoned the beast again. And as it went the first time, he did not receive the weapon. Albert felt like he would have to battle Deerclops many more times, so he created an arena to make the fight a little easier. He also moved his bed next to the arena so he could wake up close by. Now, like I mentioned earlier, in his free time, Albert began fishing. On this particular fishing day, slime started falling from the sky. Albert knew that King Slime would want to challenge him, but just because he is a king doesn't make him a worthy opponent. Albert added another relic to his collection. Back to Deerclops. Albert was able to take the creature out a third time. When he opened the bag, he was greeted with the item he was seeking. Houndius Shootius, Albert's first sentry. Albert was getting stronger day by day, but he knew the challenges would only get harder as he progressed further into the world. He was ready for whatever came next. Hello there! I hope you enjoyed this part of the story. Albert's adventure sure is heating up. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing. You can do so by clicking the icon right in front of me. If you want to check out more videos, click these right here. No, don't click that one. Okay, maybe that one. Yeah, that one's a good one.